guys, welcome to the Money Zone. I'm your host, Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. I am so excited to be here with you guys on this Tuesday, y'all. It is so much going on, guys. So originally we were going to talk about Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals, and all of that stuff. I, Look today, what's today, y'all? November 29th. Black Friday was last week Friday, and Cyber Monday was yesterday. So we're going to scratch that topic, guys, and we're going to talk about what you guys have been seeing in the news. And I posted it today on my Instagram. So if you guys are not following me on Instagram, my Instagram is Folasade the accountant. Guys, I talked about Kanye West in an interview. Basically said that he almost got arrested, guys, and he owed the IRS a lot of money. And we're going to talk about it in today's show. So if you're interested in learning about what happened with Kanye West, how this can possibly impact you as a everyday person, because I know some of you was like, that's Kanye again. That doesn't matter. I know a lot of you would like that. So if that's the case, you want to tune in. So guys, if you're watching us on any social media platforms, please do me one favor, grab your pen, your paper, drink or libation that you're going to have tonight, and please share the video. If you're watching us on Instagram, please don't forget to head over to RIP TV, and so you can catch the live stream. And then after the show, within like 24 to 48 hours, it will also be on my YouTube, which is Folasade TV as well. So guys, you don't want to miss out on today's show. And we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Hey guys, Welcome back to the Money Zone. I'm your host, Folasade, the Accountability Accountant, guys. And I'm so blessed and so grateful for you guys to join me on this beautiful Tuesday night. Guys, originally we had a whole nother topic, but tonight, because that topic was a week behind, I think, we're going to talk about the Kanye West and IRS situation. So if you guys are not familiar or you're not following me on Instagram, which you all should be following me on Instagram, right? Kanye West did an interview with Tim Cast on YouTube, and I'm going to briefly show you that. Trump, do you have my fair use clause? So when I do share that, I can share my fair use clause. Because I think when I do it on my stream, y'all, my fair use clause is there, and I know my team probably give it to you. My fair use clause, we can show that. I'm going to show the Kanye West interview, and I'm going to break that because it is a lot happening right now, guys. No problem. It is a lot happening right now, and a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, that's Kanye West. Oh, he's a billionaire. Oh, that doesn't matter. Oh, that's Kanye West. Like thinking that what's happening to Kanye West cannot happen to you and happen to your brother, what happened to your cousin or somebody else. Like what's happening right now with Kanye's situation and the IRS can happen to anybody. So I want to talk about that, and we're going to talk about it. So we're going to break that down, and then I'm going to show you guys how that applies to you, because you're probably thinking, oh, he's a billionaire. He's good. He should have just paid his taxes. He's a big good. That is not the issue at hand, guys. So let me get everything set up, get my screens going and everything. While that, what I want you guys to do, share the video. I hope, just to give y'all a heads up, I'm going to buy an Ethernet cord to attach to my internet box, because I think I solved the as to why my Wi-Fi is messed up. I may need to attach my cord. All right, Trump. So I need you to share my fair use clause really quick before I show this on YouTube. So let me know if you can share that screen. My fair use clause. Was that a video? I think it was a video. Trump. So hold on. Oh, I think it's in one of my slides as well. Give me 1 second, y'all, because we on YouTube and they be when I'm on my regular stream, y'all, everything is dead. And I don't know why is it not loading. All right, so guys, what's happening? I'm about to share my screen. If you're not watching us on YouTube, you want to head over to our YouTube, RIP TV, so you guys see the conversation. We're about to rock this thing out, guys. All right, so fair use, guys, fair use. So I'm going to give you guys some context. So I'm going to play it from 11:20.
Adidas force fighting Gap, get out of Gap, Adidas. I deal with this little bit of noise from, Zionists from the fashion world, where they use this plant named Gabby, who's obviously like some kind of CIA agent, knows nothing about fashion. This is a certain thing. When someone can't dress, fashion person, they're just there as like the society, like the control that they try to use with celebrities, which is now because where it broke. Okay. I want to get on like LeBron but I'm going to come back to this and just talk about this morning where, I'm not going to mention her name because she's a nice lady, but someone at Cohen Resnick tells me, and I tell all of my finance people, never use the term a lot, but they said, okay, you're going to have to pay a lot of taxes. And that made me feel like they're just like waiting, like we finally got them. We finally can put him in jail. And I was like, can I still run for president in jail? I found out I could. So I was like, okay, that's fine then. It'll be okay.
But if you were Jeffrey Epstein, they wouldn't touch it would allow you to break the rules, regulations, just like JP Morgan like Deutsche Bank did. So there is an issue to bring up with that. But when it comes to the race stuff, I think this is an important discussion to have because
I have to complete this thought. You guys got to.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, because I'm talking about literally finding out that they were trying to put me in prison this morning. Watch this. So
This morning.
yes. So not come to my house this morning, but I found out, okay, so they put a $75 million hold on 4 of my accounts.
All right, so let me pause it right there, guys, before we go into what he said. So basically, he was about to say that the IRS put a $75 million hold on 4 of his bank accounts. And so, first lesson from tonight's show, guys, if you guys owe the IRS above $25,000, just 25000 at 1 comma, just 5 figures, that same situation can happen to you. I'm going to repeat that. If any of you were to owe the IRS $25,000 or more, they can also levy your bank accounts as well, and also put a lien on your assets as well. So right now, I know many of you were like, oh, this is tax, this is rich people problems. Oh, he got accountants. Yes, he has accountants, but as you guys can clearly see, he might be misinformed, because the IRS, to put a levy on a bank account, they're going to send you a notice to levy. So someone within his camp is not doing their work. So guys, let me go back and share the rest of the video.
And then they said, you owe a lot of taxes. Took me like 6 hours to find out how much a lot was. They said, well, around $50 million. Now I'm going to different CFOs like, okay, so would this be tax evasion? Because I'm obviously not the most financially literate person on the planet. I was just a child, basically. Like when you become famous, you stop growing at that point. I became.
All right, so that was another trigger, guys. He said, I'm not the most financially literate. And when he said he's used to handlers, he's used to, managers and people handling things for him. And so that doesn't make him lack accountability for the situation he's in. That just shows that he relied on the people that surround him. And for him to end up getting his bank accounts levied, that means there's a lack of communication within his camp, because it's no way that my client is going to owe $50 million. I don't care if they're a billionaire. There's no way my client going to owe 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 100,000, whatever the hell it is. And y'all don't know what it really is. So somebody within his camp. So lesson number 1, guys, you have to know something. You cannot get away with running these businesses not knowing your accounting, not knowing your tax compliance. How many of our Black celebrities, our Black rich people always end up poor simply because they lack financial literacy? And if you think about it, it's always the taxes that wipe them out. It's nothing else. It's always the taxes. Oh, my accountant, oh, this, oh, that, oh, the handle of this. Regardless of the situation, guys, you supposed to know something. Ask some questions. And if you're making a lot of money, right, don't fall for this trap that the rich people don't pay taxes, because that is a lie. Yes, they get an enormous amount of tax credits, right? But they still pay an enormous amount of taxes. So if you know you're making good money and taxes aren't being paid, and those big withdrawals, or your accountant is not communicating with you about your taxes due, you need to be picking up the phone. Folasade. Well, if you're my accountant, if I'm your accountant, you wouldn't be calling me. We'll be calling you. I'll be calling you. But you guys need to be calling somebody. Like, hey, do you have an update? How much I'm owing? Or am I owing? What's the deal? Right? We got to know these things right now. Especially we're in a day and time where you can make so much money, it can get ahead of you. And I've seen this happen with my six-figure earners. Y'all making y'all 100,000, 200,000, the money coming in, and you forgetting about your tax responsibility, and you're forgetting about the behind the scenes responsibility that you guys have. So you guys want to make sure that regardless of how much money you making, you want to know if you're getting a refund or if you're owing. And guys, here's the thing, and this is what really alarmed me about all of this. Why are we just finding out about this? His tax returns, depending on the structure of his business, had to have been filed, depending on how he have everything subsidized or coming together. He might have a corporation. To file his corporation tax return by October 15th. Okay. His personal as Kanye West, the individual taxpayer, had to also be due by October 15th. So they're not giving us no details right now as if it's of the business bank accounts that are being levied, or is it his personal bank accounts that are being levied. So guys, let's go ahead and I'm about to turn back into the video. And remember, guys, fair use clause. This video is courtesy of Tim Cast from YouTube. And guys, if you're any social media platforms and you cannot see my screen, head over to the YouTube page, RIP TV, and join me. Within 24 to 48 hours, this video will also be on our YouTube page, which is Folasade TV. So head over there as well to subscribe. So guys, I'm about to play the video again.
Famous at before, and I had handlers around. I had my mom around, different things, and it was always like you go from one handler to the next handler to the next handler. So now I'm having I get to actually learn how to run a company. I get to learn how to to count. Really, I was like Pablo in a movie. It was like I didn't even know where to put the money, like literally making $300 million cash, but you're just like a high priced, we're not going to use the S word just because it's just like too passe to use it. But it's like next year I was supposed to make $500 million in royalties. And like, no one needs this amount of money. But when I would work on homeless shelters and ideas, I'd have a contractor, we won't say what race, and they'd be tearing down the contracts. It's all about position. It's not about the amount of money that you have. And, to come in here, I feel like it's a setup to be like defending. I'm not going to go through another, like I'm literally going to walk the F off the show if I'm sitting up here having a,
All right, guys. So basically, in that interview, in that Tim Cast interview with Ye, he admitted that he's having financial problems with the IRS. And guys, and this can happen to anybody. So number one, as we said initially, if you owe the IRS $25,000 or more, they can levy your bank account as well, and also put a lien on your bank account. On your assets. Okay. And as an IRS enrolled agent, I have verified clients on Instagram that I've gotten garnishments removed, levies removed, liens removed. It is a process, guys. And it's nothing that you guys want to experience. I've had clients almost lose their businesses, couldn't pay their payroll, had to borrow hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars from friends to cover payroll. It's an absolute mess. Okay. And this can happen to anybody. So, lesson number one, if you're making decent money, or regardless of how much money, let me retract from that. Regardless of how much money you guys are making, find out every year what you're owing, what your refund is. Just know something every year a little bit more about your taxes or your finances. Start asking the right questions. Start trying to figure out what's going on, because to be truthful, the way that it sounds, he didn't even review his tax returns. It sounds like nobody showed him, okay, well, you made 500 million and this is what you're owing. Where's his expenses? Where's all his employees? Where's his investments? So like from what it sounds like he's mishandling his finances right now. And this is typical in the African American community. And this is why I say, I don't care how many CFOs your individual businesses have, you guys always have to have your own personal accountant that even if they don't do anything but look at everything that's happening, because you're making that much money, that's worth the investment. Was it Chameleon? I think it was Chameleonaire. He said that he hired Jay-Z auditors to go through the books of himself with the record label and ended up finding out that the record label owed him over $900,000. So it's common. And then if they're handling his money, no tea, no shade now, and people know you're not touching it, they may not be honest like me. And people now, this world is crazy. Well, anybody, depending on, fraud happens when there's a lot of opportunity. So lesson number one, that's not lesson number one, that's like number 4 or 5. When a lot of opportunity exists, meaning you giving somebody free access to your income, free access to your bank accounts, free access to transfer funds and to use your credit cards and stuff, more than likely, if they're not getting something every time they do a transfer for you or every time they do something for you, they might end up stealing. So the reality is Kanye, from what it looked like, yay, is in bigger stuff than what I can actually imagine. He has IRS problems, but I also think he has a lack of internal control problems within his businesses. I also think that there is a lot of miscommunications that is happening between all of the parties within this camp and his different businesses, for him not to know how much taxes he owes. Because when it gets to the levy phase, guys, the IRS has already notified you. And it's interesting because somebody on Instagram said that he was dodging child support. And it's interestingly, right after this article went live and this interview went live, they said that him and Kim agreed to, I think it's $200,000 a month in child support for the children for the year. $200,000 a month. So interestingly, how everything is just interestingly, it's just like how everything is just coming out right now. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. He has said something in the interview that I'm not going to show. Was it this interview? I think it was this interview, guys, when he said, and I think I might can play it because we're kind of close to it. He said that God is testing him and removing, playing with his finances and stuff so he can be free. And this is a test so he can live out his purpose and to serve God. And guys, I'm going to be really honest with you. That happens a lot. Sometimes we think it's the devil fighting us and this hidden agenda, when the reality is that we are far away from God's purpose. And I'm not a pastor or nothing like this, but from my own personal experience, and I'm always reading and just observing everything. When we fall far away from our purpose, get really, really distracted, it's indirectly our finances start to dwindle in a way. Indirectly. So the issue at hand is he do need to restructure and regroup right now because he has just so much happening. You have the $50 million with the tax situation, and then it takes about 21 plus days to get that resolved and for him to get access. And then the reality is they will take that amount that is due. And so what's confusing to me, guys, from all of this is, why wasn't he informed? Because here's the process, guys. When we go to file your tax returns, I don't care if it's your personal return, your corporation return, even your S Corp or your partnership return. By the time we end up filing your corporation return, we know how much corporate taxes you owe. And if you have multiple states and we file those multiple corporate state tax returns, we will know how much you owe. So surprising that he don't know. Now, let's say, for example, some of his companies was S Corps, right? So that means his personal return had to be filed, or some of his companies is partnerships. Some of his companies partnership returns had to be filed before he can file his personal return, right? So all of those K1s that he got from the partnerships and the S Corps will Kanye's personal return, right? But then, guys, the moment that they process, add in all of the K1s, his rental properties, and if he have any single member LLCs, or, you know, they do all of that, they should know how much he owe. So who is not communicating? No, it's no surprise. Like, this is what's really alarming. Like, he was like, I had to call, let me play that. He said, I had to call a lot of my CFOs. So you're not reviewing the tax returns? Like it's a lot of lessons that we can get from this. We're not reviewing the tax returns. We're not communicating with our finance. And honestly, guys, you will know how much taxes you're going to owe the moment your tax return is prepared, before you even submit the return to IRS. Don't be surprised and thinking I'm saying something differently. Before the tax returns was submitted to the IRS, they knew how much that man owed. They knew how much that man owed. And that's what's messed up about the whole situation, is that they knew what that man owed and nobody communicated with him, or because of communication barriers and other contributing factors, they may not know how to communicate that to him. But as accountants, guys, this is what's really frustrating, is because as an accountant, my mentor, Mr. Banks, kudos to you to Mr. Banks, he told me in this Nigerian phrase, he said, Shade, as an accountant, you will never have a lot of friends, because you have to be direct, you have to be straightforward, and you have to be honest with people, right? So don't ever be surprised why you won't have a lot of friends, because people won't be able to take your directness. This, and he never lied, right? So why the hell wasn't Ye's people direct? Because I even had to tell one of my CPAs, I don't care if these people scream when we send them the notice about their sales tax. We need to know whether or not we can pay it, period. I still need authorization. So I don't care if you fussing, because Ye could have been like, Folasade, y'all can't get on my goddamn nerves. Yay, can we process the tax payment? You owe 50 million, bro. Can we process the tax payment? So can we do 10 million a day? Like, get past the emotion, guys. His accountant should have been extremely direct with him, because now it's starting to look like he doesn't handle his business dealings properly. At some point, when your finances get to this point, it shows that you're not handling your finances properly or do business right. And this may end up being a red flag for future partners. Forget about the dealings with Adidas. Forget about the dealings with anybody else. Just the mere fact that you don't even have a handle on your tax situation. Because see, he should have played it off. Because you're telling people you don't know about your finances the moment when he said he had to call 7 people and he didn't know, and then people told him he owed a lot of taxes. So you're telling the public that you don't manage your finances properly, or you don't have a hold over your accounting departments in your various businesses. So if somebody want to give you $50 million investment, and see, guys, this is why your is key. Because immediately, and I didn't even think about this before I prepared for today's show, that the moment that he put this out there, anybody that may want to give him an investment may be hesitant because now they're like, okay, bro, you're having issues with these people. Now this is now your taxes, and then now the child support. They're going to be like red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. But guess what? The same thing that's happening to Ye right now can happen to anybody. Anybody. Remember, the IRS, you only need to owe them $25,000. And every state have their own limits. Some states it can be 5,000 that you owe them, and they start to levy and stuff on your properties and your assets in your bank account. This is a problem that everyday people can be hit with. Not just the rich, not just Ye, not just anybody. It can be the average person, which is you, that can be hit with this. And especially for all my business owners you guys are starting to make your first 6 figures in business. I don't know if I showed you guys this, but the moment that you make 6 figures in business, you're going to owe about 30 something thousand in taxes. If you don't have the expenses, if you don't keep good records. And so that means that $30,000 in taxes can trigger this levy situation that Kanye Ye is in. So this is a problem. This is a problem. So guys, what we're about to do, we're going to take a quick little break, guys. Do me one favor, you're watching us on any social media platforms, please share the video. If you're watching on YouTube, please like the video. And don't forget, the replay will be posted within 24 to 48 hours on my YouTube page, which is Folasade TV. If you guys were just tuning in, we were talking about Ye's situation with the IRS and the IRS got levying his bank account and everything else. So guys, we're going to take a quick little break and we'll be right back. So your refund can still Hey guys, welcome back to the Money Zone. I'm your host, Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. And before we took our break, we were talking about the Ye and IRS situation. Ye did an interview on Tim K's podcast on YouTube, and basically he just flat out blurted out that almost got arrested today, and the IRS then levied his bank account for $75 million for five of his CFOs to figure out how much he owed. Come to find out he owed $50 million and blase, blase, blase. So before I went to break, I was kind of just talking about the reality of the tax situation. Like, file the tax return, guys. You know how much you owe. So it's really no way that he don't know unless he's not signing those tax returns. So that's another thing, guys, that I forgot to mention in the previous segment, that there's a possibility he may not know. Is he the one signing his tax returns? Like, did he give them power of attorney to sign his tax return? And see, that's where a lot of you go wrong with, especially when you reach that millionaire status. You like, oh, yes, I'll let my accountant handle it. I love that you trust me like that. And no team won't do nothing like that. But guess what, y'all? Do not be just letting y'all accountants just do the most like that. And you just let them just be free everything. You need to know what's going on too, okay? They should not be able to write checks unless you sign. Like, you want to have second two signature authorization. Also, don't review the return before you have them sign the return. Even if you're going to allow them to have power of attorney to sign your tax returns, right? Please review them first. Okay. And if you're going to review them, you might as well sign them, and just only going to take a second, you know? So we're going to talk about now a few ways for you guys to prevent this from happening. So grab your pen and your paper, guys. The first thing you guys want to do is make sure you are filing your tax returns in a timely manner, okay? So tax season is approaching. So if you guys want to work with me, please call my office, because we are now starting. We're going to have a sold out year, very busy year. And I want to make sure that we're able to accommodate all of you, especially with so many changes happening. It's just so much going on. So the reality is, the first thing that each and every one of you need to start doing is filing a timely tax return. So you want to at least file it by the due date, the original due date. You cannot file it by the original due date. You need to always put an extension in. If you're going to put an extension in, you want to file it by the extension due date. The moment that you don't file it by the extension due date, you will begin to incur a penalty for late filing. If you owed taxes when you filed that return, you will be accumulating interest. So, to avoid a levy, file your tax to avoid the entrance and penalty charges that will be associated with the late filing. That's number one. The second thing that you guys need to do, we have to start taking responsibilities. We have to start taking responsibility for what we are doing. If we're going to be business people, fit in you reviewing your paperwork, you sitting with your accountant, you asking those core questions, you seeing what's going on. And especially when you guys get to that point where you're financially free, you do tend to step away from your finances, because money ain't a thing. Just pop in. I'm free, and that's how y'all be. Y'all just free. Just roll there. That's how y'all be. You be like, with my shades. I have my shades out here. I'm free. I'm rich. Let's go. I don't need to see my numbers no more. Right? No. Because the liability is there. Taxes are there. You have employee responsibilities and everything else. And guys, remember, what happens throughout the year in your businesses impact your final presentation of your tax return. So did Ye end up really owing 50 million? Is the question. Did he really know that he owed? He should have. But there's a possibility, if he has power of attorneys given to counsel on his behalf, he may not. Were those his accounts levied and not his personal accounts? Because guys, when you start to structure all of these complex scenarios and all these LLCs and corporations and subsidiaries and all of this stuff, it could have been the full corporation tax bank accounts that were levied. But guess what, guys? It can happen to anybody. This is what we deal with behind the scenes on a regular basis. And it's amazing to me how, and I hate for this, but the reality is for me to have these discussions with you, God had to allow situations like this to happen. So I look at everything in a positive light. Because now everyday people will know that this can happen to them as just by you owing $25,000. And guys, I have like a few minutes before I close out. What made me think about this? Have you guys saw the movie The Law Firm? What is it? And I like the guy, Tom Cruise. With Tom Cruise, the law. And the other attorney said, why did you become a tax attorney? Tom Cruise said, well, I was working at this deli in New York, and they ended up losing everything because the IRS came and snatched everything of that business, garnished and levied the bank accounts, and the business had to close down. And so that's another reason why I'm trying to become a tax attorney, and IRS enroll agent, so I can prevent you guys from being in situations like this, because it's happening. It's just not spoke upon. And it's actually going to be more prevalent coming now, since they have that additional funding now. So now you're going to see a surge of audits. Saying it here again. First, my prediction post. This is it. I'm about to drop it. So right now, everybody is publicly just speaking about the increased audits that's going to happen. I also feel like it's going to increase enforcement and collection. So the individuals that they weren't able to get in contact with, that have about 1 to 2 more years of their statutory limitations or statutory collections, or the ability of collectability or whatever, right? They're going to start sending you guys notices, notice of levies, notice of bank accounts, of garnishments and liens. You're going to see an increase in enforcement, not only in audits, but in levies, liens. So if you've been owing the IRS for years and they have certified your debt, then we have an issue at hand, guys. So I'm warning you guys again, wave. So if you know you owe a lot of money, get on your payment plans. Contact them, establish your payment plan. If you owe above $25,000, one strategy that you guys can do is pay just enough to get it under $25,000 to prevent the levy process. Okay? And guys, if you do need assistance beyond that, this is what I help clients with on a regular basis, guys, and I'll be willing to take you on. But let's do better. Let's look at this Ye situation as God telling you guys, this is coming too. I'm warning you guys. We already pre-warned you guys 1.5 years audits before anybody said IRS going to be auditing anybody. Because everybody said, oh no, they need to know this. You don't know what you're talking about. I told my team to go find all my posts. Hundreds, thousands of you guys bashed me. And then look, they said it on Friday. So now y'all can bash me again when they prove me right. When you guys started getting your collection activities notices moving forward, saying that this is notice of deficiency, notice of levy, notice of lien. When you guys started getting notice of garnishment, that you're going to think warning us. So this is your first warning for activities, the increased collection activities for the IRS. Funding means that they can now put additional hands and people in the collection division to collect on past debt. Remember, all they need is a present address. They can send the notice of deficiency or the notice of levy for you. Even if you don't get it, they can still proceed. A lot of you are like, oh, I moved, I'm good. Oh, I done moved 8 times, they can't find me. Guess what you're saying right now? But with all of this additional funding happening, they're going to find all of you guys, and they're going to pick up back on their collection activities. And I guarantee you, If you don't establish your payment plan and take advantage of the advice that I've given you guys today, okay, that you might be in the same situation as Ye. Guys, I'm winding down. I had a long daggone day. The ladies that had like 8 appointments on my calendar today, guys. So that is a wrap. The show is over. I'm done. I'm over. I'm out. I'm so tired. So no, guys, I'm excited. I enjoyed tonight's show. I hope that you've gotten a lot of the information that I put down. It was a lot that I talked about. This is a real live situation, guys. Remember, I also letting you guys know ahead of time that what's going to happen now is collection activities will be enhanced. Remember, initially I said audits. That was 2 years ago. We're past that. We're prepared. We're prepared. Everybody else is behind. Now I'm preparing you guys for the collection activities that's going to increase soon enough. You guys heard it here on RIP Radio. First, per usual, on the Money Zone. And guys, I'll see you guys next week, Tuesday. Have a good night. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Money Zone on your favorite streaming site. Make sure you tell a friend and a family